Alright, what's going on, guys? Connor on Shane. We're back today. I'm going to be bringing you guys some information on Fjord Foundry. If you guys are familiar, if you're not, I'm going to just go over just a little bit about what this platform is and how you guys can use this to your advantage just throughout this whole bull run. So, Fjord Foundry, let's go to the Twitter also. Get the website up twice. So, what it is basically it's a liquidity bootstrapping protocol. And in other words, it's kind of like a public sale platform for a lot of different coins. Again, let me pull this up here. Fjord, FJORD. So this is the platform. This is the Twitter. So, like I said, they launch a lot of different tokens. They offer like public sales for these tokens. And I'm just going to show you about like a little bit about how you'd use this. It's fairly simple, but you definitely have to look at many different aspects with it. So again, we're going to go to view LBPs, which is the main function for this platform. So many things with this. So Fjord Foundry, we got right here is we got view all and then curated only. So I'm pretty sure any single individual that wants to use this platform, they can do that. But bottom line, when it comes to curated only versus view all, you're going to be looking at projects that were verified and basically checked out by Fjord themselves. If you put it in curated, if you put view all, this is like a list of just any and all projects that are going to be listing on the platform. So I usually recommend put it on curated because again, these are going to be checked and verified and more than likely going to be 20 times safer than anything on the view all list or somewhere else. They got different chains here. Here I'm just looking at ETH. I like to look at ETH projects all the time. But so bottom line, we're going to just check out random projects here. We got ArcX coming up. We got Tuna Chain. So let's check out Tuna Chain. I've actually never heard of it. So when it comes to Fjord, when you are looking at this platform, so how this works is kind of like a Dutch auction in which when you're investing into this public sale per se. So right off the bat, once the second this launches, price usually sits up here. And the reason why they do this, so it's kind of like they want to find a fair value for where the public sale is. So they have a set amount of, let's say, tokens or whatever that they're trying to sell out or fundraise, whatever you want to call it, for this public sale. And depending on the demand is basically how long this is going to take. If it's the most hype project you've ever seen, this is probably going to sell out. It could sell out really quick within the first few minutes to maybe 20 minutes, half hour, whatever. But obviously, as you can see, as time goes on, the price of the token in which you're looking to buy the public sale for is going to slowly decrease over time. And again, the time frame is going to be, I don't know if it's different for every coin or if they can set whatever time frame they like. But again, you can check the time frame just seeing here. We got at least a few days here. So bottom line with Tuna Chain, like some just basic info to look at is right. If when this launches, if there's not a crazy amount of demand, it's usually best to just wait a little bit of time, wait maybe a couple hours, couple days, let this price drop before you start to see a lot of people jumping in to pick it up, right? So we're going to look at that, but then there's also a lot of different info that you have to check out every single time when you're looking into the, I guess, whatever coin. Something you can always do too as well, you can check the contract address, put that into Etherscan, jump in there, you can check all the details as well. They have a lot of details here just on information. So you can jump in there and you can jump over to transparency. You can go to details here. So these are just all the different things that, again, if you're on these curated, I guess, projects that are having their sale, this is going to be fairly updated and it's going to be very in-depth. So we got the duration, which is the time frame, so March 12th to March 17th. That's going to be the time frame for the project. The token vesting. So this is going to give you the vesting schedule for the public sale. What this kind of means is that depending on certain projects, certain things that projects are looking for, there's a lot of different reasons why projects would offer vesting or not. And what vesting means is when you get your actual tokens handed to you once it's launched, the vesting schedule basically means is like how many tokens are you going to get from that public sale? Are you going to get 100% of those tokens that you bought in public sale at this price when it launches? Or are you going only to get 5%, 10%, 50%? So that's something to pay attention to for token vesting. And then that also means with cliff here. So when a project, again, if you invest, say 10% of this token supply was for the public sale, when you were going to check the vesting schedule here, depending on how much the token vesting schedule lists here, let's say 50% of that 10% supply is instantly given out. So what that means is out of the 10% for the public sale, now you got 50% that's given to you right off rip. But when it comes to a cliff, what the cliff means is that there's going to be that other 50% of that pool is going to be basically given out chunk by chunk over time. So again, of that 10% that we're talking about that's offered to the public, you get 50% of that instantly at launch. And then sometimes cliffs will be a couple years. Sometimes you're going to get like a percent of that amount of token over the span of a few months to a few years. So a lot of times, bottom line, what you got to check is make sure you understand the vesting schedule here, because it's very important. But when a token here says token vesting no, vesting cliff no, so that means that if you're going to get into this pre-sale, you're not going to have to worry about not getting the whole 100% amount of tokens that you're buying in, and you're also not going to have to worry about, waiting week after week, month after month, just to get small portions of your tokens back. So that's a good thing when you see no and no. That means instantly you're going to get the tokens that you basically just paid for in this public sale. And so we got token weightings as well, which this is kind of interesting to me. I'm not going to go into detail with it too much because it is a little bit confusing to me, but so you got token weightings, which it's something to pay attention to as well. Kind of has to do with how much they're really selling out, and like comes with a good beginning and end weight as well. We got token. I don't know why this keeps doing that. Yeah, so we got token balances too. Geo-block countries, which if you're in the U.S. too, using this platform, you might need to use a VPN, because even I'm from the US and I cannot use this right now without a VPN. But with that being said, this is an interesting platform rather. So I just wanted to point a lot of this stuff out because it's very important that you understand what you're getting yourself into, especially when you're investing into a coin. Let's say you really don't do your due diligence, and then you also don't do your due diligence on the vesting schedule of a certain coin. And yeah, as you can see, I can't participate here, but if you don't do your due diligence and understand what you're doing here, you could kind of get burned. There could be lots of opportunities and times where you can get burned if you're looking to invest. Because the last thing I want to bring up too, which is very important, is you really want to check the tokenomics of other sales that went on with the token that you're looking for. Because especially with ArcX, or maybe not ArcX, but any of these, let's say for ArcX here, or where's Tuna Chain? Right here. So let's say Tuna Chain, we'll use that old example I just used a minute ago. So 10% of the supply of all the tokens, let's say, were for public sale. But let's say that also, outside of this public sale that they're doing, they offered another 10% for their seed investors. So what that means is that whatever this Tuna Chain sale is, obviously the public sale price right here is looking like in between let's say 60 cents upwards of like 16 to 10 if it goes down this low and it's not sold out. But you also have to pay attention to the seed investments, which are usually done before this. And you have to pay attention to where those seed investment prices were. For example, if seed investors, let's say they got in at like 1 penny, right? And then the public sale here, let's say it ends at like 35 cents. So you're looking at 10% of that supply. Many people are already going to be up 10, 20, 30x. I mean, in this case, literally like 35x for the example. And so, again, 10% of that supply, you're going to have so many people up, massive gains on that. So you might think you're early on this here, but if you're not looking into, the other sales, pre-sale, seed, if there's anything like that, and if they got in a lot lower, you could have a very high risk of this project continuing to go, a little bit lower, as in like you're not going to get those gains that you thought initially because there might be a lot of sell pressure initially as well, which is also why I recommend waiting heavily until price goes down or until you see the demand really ramp up and it's going to be a project you want to get in and you understand other seed investment information, other pre-sales, stuff like that, their token vesting, their schedule, their cliff. As long as you understand all of that and it makes sense to you, then whatever project you're going to dive into can be a good idea. And so when this public sale actually happens, like these will sit live, it's going to be like a little dot or something. It's going to show you exactly like where it's sitting at. As in once this is live, you're going to be able to basically just connect your wallet and swap here with, I'm pretty sure like whatever amount you need or whatever amount you want. But this dot eventually over time is just going to continue to drop, continue to run. Let's say the 13th is over, 14th, 15th, and it doesn't sell out. Eventually this will just run. If it doesn't sell out at all completely, this will just run all the way until the end. But if this does sell out, let's say it continues, it's very hype, it sells out at 35 cents like I was saying for the example, then this is going to go down to here, and then this entire release / available is going to go to 100% on the board here. So that's a little bit of a rundown for Fjord Foundry. Something interesting too I want to bring up while I'm talking about it is I think that they are launching a token as well. Because in my opinion, I really haven't seen any other major platforms kind of like this that offer, the ability for anyone to just jump into a public sale. Again, there's a lot to understand and like a lot of risks potentially for jumping in at certain times. Like I was saying earlier, you got to know what you're investing in when you're going to jump in. But as far as it being like an open platform for anyone to jump in to a public sale for a project, I really like that concept a lot. And I was going to say there's one thing. Yeah, I don't know where it was. They had a bottom line, like their tweet, they literally sent a tweet out talking about FJO. And it looks like they might have a token FJO coming out pretty soon. So that's kind of a rundown for everything here. Keep an eye out for this token because this could be pretty cool, especially if they implement this token into their platform for whatever reasons. But that's Fjord Foundry. Dope platform in my opinion. And like I said, just understand the risks when you're investing in some of these. Again, because there's going to be great opportunities, but some of them might not be the greatest opportunities either. Sometimes, for certain projects too, it could be the best move to just wait until public sale happens. Or not public sale, wait until it actually launches, where you can trade it on like Uniswap, trade it on any DEX. Wait for price action to show you the right entry, and then get in then. But again, if it's really hyped and you can get into something like this, then by all means, if you understand what you're doing. But again, that's just a rundown for this platform. And they might have a token out, which is mainly why I'm making a huge video on this, because I think this platform is really cool, like I said. So that's what I got for you guys today. Hope you found some value in this. And drop a like, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, whatever you got to do. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.